Okay, here we are with the cube, the default cube. What do? What's the first thing that we do? You can go to the modifier and hit subdivide, or we can go Control 1. Gotta select it first. Control 1. Gonna zoom in. We're gonna go to the subdivision set. We're gonna bring it up to 3. All right. We're gonna make sure that we are facing front. I'm gonna apply the modifier because I'm okay with that. And what I want to do is I want to duplicate this. I can add another one, but let's just go. We're going to go Shift D for duplicate, and we're going to then press Z. So Shift D, then we're going to press Z and move this down to right about there. Wait, let's do Control Z. Hold on, let's do Control Z. So I'm going to go over here and I want to place this on random. Okay, so now let's do it. So Shift D, press the Z key and move this down. All right. So now we have these two spheres. If we go to the side, they look the same. So from the front. So what I want to do is this. I want to hide. So the one that says Cube 1, that's going to be, let's rename that. Let's double click and rename that. Face. And the other cube, let's rename that Cranium and hit enter. Okay, so I want to hide the face and we want to go to sculpt mode. Oh, I forgot to show you. So sculpt mode, if you want to change any of these, so let's say I got edit mode and I don't have a shortcut to it, I will right click and go down to assign a shortcut, and it'll tell you to press a key, so I'll just press F2. So now if I want, that's F2, and that's an easier way of doing this. Let's choose our, I don't want symmetry yet. Let's go to our grab brush, G for grab. We're gonna make this larger. And I'm going to go right to the bottom here and I want to push this up. Let's make this even larger. So sometimes when you're doing a move, you have to really go in and make this brush bigger. Don't be afraid to do that. And now I want to go up to symmetry and I want to kind of bring that in a bit. Now I'm going to unhide the face. So if we look to this, let's check our side, 3. So now what I want to do is I want to highlight the face. I want to actually click onto here, highlight the face, kind of move that in a bit. Let's size that. Hit S for size. We'll make that a little, tiny little bit smaller. Oh, I got to pull this out, right? Got to pull this out. Let's go to 1 and let's go with my symmetry. Let's put the symmetry on, so you need to go up and press the X. I keep repeating because I know that you may not remember it. This might be a little bit too low. So I'm going to go back to the cranium. And okay, so I have the cranium selected, but you see the little sculpting thing? You actually have to go back up here. You have to put this into sculpting mode so that you can kind of play with it a bit. I'm just going to kind of adjust the cranium a bit. Maybe make this a little bit flatter. And now I'm going to go back to the face. And I'm just going to pull that in a little. Let's check the front. It's looking way more like an acorn than I want it to look. So I'm going to make this a bit wider. Maybe about like here. Let's check the side. 3, I still look okay. I am now going to make this a little bit lower because I want to have this pointed in a bit more. And if I wanted to, I can even bring that up a bit. So let's go with 3. Now I can move, actually I can take this, I want to move this up to like here. So I'll show you that again. I just grabbed the bottom of it and I just moved it until it did this. So now I want to keep going back to check. And now maybe I will make this a little larger and move this down a bit, make this jaw. And so right about here, I want to grab the front of the cranium and I want to kind of pull that out like this. So it has this little shape right here to where it's kind of giving us an indication of perhaps a nose. I can maybe pull that down a little bit, and I'm checking, and just checking. And so you see that little groove I got in there? So 1. So now what will we do? We would put the neck on. So what do? We can go back to object mode. I just leave everything where it is. You can go to, you can use the cranium, but Shift A, cube, Control 1. We're going to grab it on the Z axis and we're going to increase those subdivisions to 3 and do exactly what we did before. I want to size this. I want to look at it to this side. I want to go to 3. I'm going to move this a little bit to the back. And then I'm going to size it S along the Z axis. Right about here. And then I'm going to move this up. I'm going to move that in. And then we're going to hit rotate. Right about there. And now, and you can label this. It's easier if you label this. So instead of cube, we can call this neck. Now, if you want to keep everything in order, we can make a new collection. And we can rename the collection. You can call it top, you can call it face, you can call it head. And you keep all of your, so we're going to move the face into here. So what you want to do is you want to grab what you want to move and then wait until it turns black. Wait until like your scene collection turns black, and that'll put this inside of there. So we got the neck, the cranium, the face, and the neck. And so then if you want to add another collection for torso, you can do that as well. But now, if I wanted to, I can go back to sculpt mode. And I can go down. And we can kind of, oh, we got to make sure that we got our symmetry on. So it controls Z if you did something and you didn't have the symmetry mode on, like I didn't have it on. So now I want to affect the face. So I want to sculpt on that. So if I want, I can just kind of move this in for a little bit of a jaw. Like that. Maybe adjust this down a little bit. So we got ourselves a little jaw there. I know there are no ears on. I'm not going to worry about ears. They're that's not going to worry about that right now. But yeah, so there you go. There is a head for you. Oh, let's adjust the neck. Let's adjust the neck. So remember, we got to click onto here. Let's hit apply. So now I want to go all the way. So I'm going to hit 1. Then if you hit 9, it gives you the opposite of whatever view that you're on your number pad. And we're going to hit grab. Going to hit grab. And I'm just going to kind of pull this out a bit. so it kind of cradles the head a bit like a golf tee. Make this a little bit bigger. We bring that out. Let's just hit 1. So we got a little bit more of a neck. We can even probably stand to just maybe pull this down a bit more. And then there you go. Oh, it's a little bit, it's a little thin back here, so maybe I'll make that a little wider. Let's make that smaller. Because technically this won't be out. This would actually be in a bit more. So I'd actually put that out. That's the way what your neck is really going to do. And I'm going to go back in. I think I just made this a little bit too wide. So there we go. So we want to really deal. I wanted to show you this. Now normally I would do the bigger shapes first. So, and then if you want, you can save this. So I'm just going to save this under class 2 mannequin. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to save it. Then I'll see you in the next video.